I've got a really, really interesting show for you today. We're going to talk about Trump and live streaming the gold at Fort Knox. We're going to talk about Yeezy, or artist formerly known as Kanye West, and his next blockbuster idea. And finally, this is something that not a lot of people are talking about, but why you might not see the XRP case get dropped by the SEC as fast as you may believe. So we're going to talk about all those things. And like every single day, all this new advancements and interesting articles that come out of crypto, every single day, something exciting happens. That's why you got to tune in here every single day for our show. So if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button now. I'd really appreciate it. And if you've made it this far, do me one single solitary favor and hit the like button. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. So with that news, let's get into talking about this first piece of the live streaming gold at Fort Knox. Let's listen to this.
Going to Fort Knox. I'm going to go with Elon. And would anybody like to join us?
Yeah, me. I would love to see that.
Because we want to see if the gold is still there. We want to see. I don't know how to help.
All right. They want to see if the gold is still there. So what if the gold is not there? Has anyone thought about that? What happens if they live stream it and they go into these things and there's not nearly as much gold, or worse yet, no gold? I think there was something like, I don't know how many metric tons, like 5,000 metric tons of gold allegedly in there. And the reason why this is important, it's the backing of the US dollar, or it was that we had the gold standard up until the early 70s, I believe. I could be wrong on the number. But the point is that the gold, the confidence in the US dollar all around the world hinged on that Fort Knox gold being in there. And the Fort Knox was built, I think, in the 20s. And so the 1920s, that is, about 100 years ago. But the point of that gold is it gives people confidence that their money is backed by something legit. Now, what do you think would happen to the price of Bitcoin if that gold was not there? What would you think would happen to the financial markets and the chaos that would ensue and the volatility if the gold simply was not there? The whole world would be thrown into maybe a 2020 or worse yet, a 2008 style financial disarray at the very least. And so I believe it's very possible that Bitcoin could shoot up in the short-term interim if that gold isn't there. Now, look, I'm not hoping the gold's not there because the implications in the other financial markets would be very, very big. But if it's not there, hold on, brace yourself, because we're going to be on for a wild ride. I think Bitcoin could go up by 20 to 50% instantly. Now, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. We're talking about possible issues and outcomes and things like that. Don't know what's going to happen. But that is it's a real possibility that we've been lied to, and there's not a ton of gold in there. It's also a possibility it's all there safe and sound. So either way, we will find out. Hopefully that when they audit that, and it's funny, I don't think Fort Knox has been audited in a very, very long time. I remember there being a TV special in like the 80s or 90s where they went in there, but they only showed them a couple rooms and bits of gold. So I don't know if that was all a facade. So that being said, this will be a very interesting development, so we'll keep our eyes on that. Next up, this is odd. This next story is extraordinarily odd. Like everything surrounding this guy, Kanye, artist formerly known as Kanye West, also Yee or Yeezy. It says Kanye, who is a brilliant marketer that I don't understand his marketing strategy, but he stays relevant consistently and ongoing. It says he'll launch SwastiCoin token next week in erratic crypto posts. That's one sure way to make the world know that you're not an anti-Semite. So it says here, there's a bit of this article. This was from the block. There's tons of articles out there. It says seemingly teased launch of token called SwastiCoin next week in a series of erratic posts. Yeah, that's odd. It says that I'm going to open the CA contract address for my SwastiCoin to Jewish people and my friends and family first. Okay, so insiders and Jewish people first. Yee said in one post, let's see if stereotypes exist for a reason. I don't know if he's just trying to be so out there that he's trying to blast through paradigms and all these things, but he does it in such an odd way. I don't think people understand him. I think he put out a shirt called, and it's on here, the HH01, apparently short for Heil Hitler. I don't know why he would do this, but anyway, long story short is I don't think this is good for crypto. This is definitely not good for crypto. This is well, it might be a blockchain and they might try to bring utility. It's just going to bring more confusion to the marketplace. And I really hope this doesn't happen. I hope it doesn't happen because he's got a big following. People will buy and money will flow and people will lose money and they'll get soured on crypto. Man, that really rhymed. But anyway, I hope that doesn't happen. If this happens, it could be more disaster for crypto, and I hope he stays out of crypto for good reason. Maybe he'll bring money into the space, but it's money that will soon fleet when the coin goes down. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. It's not financial advice, as you well know. Read my disclaimers down below. Last but certainly not least, now, obviously, anyone out there in the XRP army and the XRP fan base and the XRP maxis, everyone is hoping and thinking that XRP is the case is going to get dropped, including myself, that the case will get dropped by Ripple. And that's going to happen any day and it's impending. That's the hope. What's the reality? Well, I've read a really interesting article by a Fox reporter. This is not the article, but this is the article talking about it. It says Fox reporter reveals why it's taking longer for the US SEC to drop case on XRP sales or XRP period. And the reality is that this is there's a judge that's retained jurisdiction over the case for 1 year until August 7th, 2025 to ensure Ripple meets the penalty terms. So you see, this judge has already fined Ripple $125 million. And so this says, even if the SEC decides to dismiss its appeal in the Second Circuit, the agency will still need to determine the appropriate approach for the district court regarding the penalty. So it's more complex than people lead on to believe. It's not as simple as the SEC just saying, all right, we're done. Now, there's things around that could happen, but the time frame and the complexities are not, it's complex. It's not simple. So not sure if there's any fact to this August 7th number, but at least it gives us some indication of where we are. We're sitting here, February 23rd, 2025 today. And so if this holds true, and we got to wait a couple more months, five more months, almost 5 more months, 5 months and like 10 days or so, or a little more than that. My public math is just terrible today, but we've got to wait a little bit of time for the SEC case to be dropped. Now, I'm sure some other things could happen surrounding this. There could be quick settlements. There's a lot of things that could happen, but it might not. So we might wait longer, which is okay. I mean, think about it. We've waited years for this to happen. I mean, the cases started coming in 2020. It's 2025. We've waited 5 years for cases against Ripple to at least proceedings to happen and things to get unraveled and dropped or settlements to happen. So it could certainly happen quicker than that, given the SEC, the current administration, pressures, cases being dropped. It's very possible. But the Coinbase lawsuit, it didn't get to a settlement yet or any kind of ruling. So the dropping that came a lot easier. So I'm sure they're looking at a hierarchy of knocking out the easy ones first to bring confidence to the market. They're probably the SEC, the crypto czar, probably going to bring some stability back to crypto by laying a framework or groundwork. You heard from Brian Armstrong yesterday in our video yesterday that we'll put at the end here before you leave. Check out that video. But, he said that we were allowed to go public and offer up our stock. And then after they went public, the same institution that allowed them to go public, the SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission, went back after them and said, we're going after you and suing you for all these things. Well, they knew they were doing all those things when they did the IPO, initial public offering, but they still went back after them. It's insane. So that kind of ruling makes you not want to do business as a crypto company in the United States back then. Now we're getting hopefully get more clear framework. That all being said, that's all I got. So remember, Yecoin, don't fall into it. That's not my advice. That's what I'm saying to myself right now and to everyone else, is that it's probably set up to fail if it happens. I hope it never happens. Live stream at Fort Knox. If they do that, I will be a watcher. I would probably pay to see that. Maybe nothing happens, but maybe they discover empty crypts or gold painted lead bars. Who knows? I think it's interesting. It would be certainly interesting to see that. And then, finally, the XRP case. While I hope it comes to a quick end, I don't know that it will. So I'm not banking on it anytime soon, but I certainly hope it happens. That is all I got. Hope you had a great time with me in the last, 9 minutes or so, and I will see you next time.